What's up, YouTube? It is your girl, Latrina, and I am back again today with another tarot spread read. Starting off in our first row, we do get the house card in the reverse. We get the Eight of Cups also coming out in that first row. And then we get the Six of Wands in the reverse with the malicious prosecution message on it. And it looks like you may be dealing with a situation, or someone may be dealing with a situation regarding a house that they may have lost. Someone may have lost a house, or maybe they had to walk away from this particular property, because the Eight of Cups does speak of someone walking away from an emotional situation. And I'm assuming that someone also had to walk away because there was no victory regarding this malicious prosecution. There wasn't a victory because the Six of Wands comes out in the reverse. They had to walk away from, I guess, in the past reads, we've been getting a situation about some house, a property or something like that. So it looks like if this is in any way tied to the past readings, someone did have to walk away because of a lack of victory due to some malicious prosecution. So I'm assuming that maybe someone did try to falsely accuse another individual. Because then we next get the card of a loss in the reverse. So that does speak of a gain whenever you see that loss card in the reverse. And then we get the Six of Pentacles card coming out in that second row in the reverse. And the Ten of Cups coming out in the third row, or in the second row. And so seeing as though someone did have to walk away from a situation regarding this house or property, and they even did have to walk away from falsely, maliciously accusing someone, malicious prosecution, there was no victory either when we're speaking of this home, and this malicious prosecution did not bring a victory. Trying to tear down another individual's character and their name, it didn't work in efforts to attain this house. It looks like someone may be dealing with a loss of some sort, and especially if it's dealing with a house, because that's a large loss. And the loss, is directly attached to this Six of Pentacles card, which does mean the equal give and take. Someone is at a loss because they tried to actually take something more than their share. And it may have something to do with your family that did suffer a loss regarding this property or this house. And even this malicious prosecution brought them to a loss. They didn't get a victory. And then we get the double confirmation on that, because the Six of Wands in the reverse, it speaks of victory. And then we get the loss card. It speaks of no victory. coming out right with the lost card. And then, it may be attached to something regarding, your family or a family, because we do get the Ten of Cups. A family was probably trying to take more than their fair share when it comes to this house. And they used, malicious prosecution as a tool to try to destroy someone's image. And they did have to walk away from that imbalance, because we do get the officer card showing up in that third row, and this officer is coming out in the reverse. And we also get the page of pentacles also in that third row with the officer, and also coming out with the Eight of Pentacles coming out in the reverse, which has the message of red rum for hire on it, and it's in the reverse. So that means it's going to be tying right into some of the previous messages that were read, that this situation regarding this house, and even someone trying to win at all costs, from the past reads, and then, whatever someone was hired to do. And with this Eight of Pentacles coming out in the reverse, it may be speaking of someone that didn't, they didn't complete the job, which was a red rum for hire. This job was not complete. And this job was in direct correlation with someone trying to attain a house. And they wanted to gain a victory when they were, trying to get this house. They had to walk away from it, It seems like everything went upside down, whatever plans that they were working on, they got turned around, probably due to this officer in the reverse. And anytime I see an official person coming out in the reverse, anytime I see any individual coming out in the reverse, it lets me know that, this person's probably not, he's not on the up and up. He's probably, he's probably not so official, if he's an officer in the reverse. He must have something to do with this attempt, to red rum a person. And then this officer comes out right on top of this Eight of Pentacles, which does speak of work. But when it's in the reverse, I'm assuming that work was not attainable. Someone did not get the message, Someone did not get the message about this. And see, when I made a mistake saying that this was the lost card, because it does come out in the reverse. So that's going to be speaking of a gain. And someone did, try to take something that was not, it was over, you know what I mean? It was an overkill, because you got like this murder for hire plot out here. That was in direct attempt to attain this property from someone, they wanted to get rid of a person so that they could contain this house, attain the house. And they even did assassinate this person's character, through some malicious prosecution. There was no victory when it comes to this house and this malicious prosecution. And whatever they did gain from trying to take more than their fair share, I said their share, their fair share. And this is directly tied to a family. Your family or a family is responsible for this red rum for hire that wasn't successfully worked upon. You know, the plans did fall through because everything is in the reverse regarding this red rum, you know, and regarding this law official. He may be a crooked law official, is some of the words, terms I was looking for. He's a crooked law official that did work upon this red rum for hire, you know, and he even was responsible for some messages being blocked, you know, for some blocked information. He's directly worked upon that. This officer did. And someone did gain something, you know, because like I said, they were actually trying to take more than their fair share regarding this property, you know. And I'm not sure how you could split a property, but you know, definitely you would probably have to actually share the title. Is the only way that you know that property could be split up like that. But whatever they did, and all this work that they put into this situation regarding this red rum, and murder for hire, you know, is what I'm trying to express. And then we get the sadness card coming out in the reverse. So that speaks of someone being happy, you know. We also get the page of pentacles coming out in the reverse. Someone's attempts, you know. And then we get the king of pentacles with the found card, the found message on top of that card. So that does speak of something being lost. And then with these other two cards coming with it, sadness. And then that page of pentacles, you know, he's absolutely he's really been overtaken by this coin. You know, he's money hungry. Whoever this king of pentacles in the reverse is, you know, the bands, he's totally fascinated by the money. You know, this money is what drives and motivates this king of pentacles coming out in the reverse. He's lost himself due to being, you know, so thirsty and so actually greedy, you know, because when he's in the reverse, he's pretty much greedy, you know. And then, like I said, they were trying to take more than their fair share when it comes down to that Eight of Pentacles in the reverse, or this actual Six of Pentacles in the reverse, is where they were trying to take their more than their fair share. Because we do also get the falseness card coming out. And then we get the Knight of Wands coming out in that very last row. Along with the Wheel of Fortune card with the message of multiple choice on there, which tells me that yeah, this King of Pentacles was just motivated strictly by money. Money is what made him happy, you know. Because that sadness card comes in the reverse, that means that he was happy that he did find something, you know, because if you can see the image in this card, this man found this, you know. Either he was mining or, you know, quote, mining in a cave, because he did find something. And we get the found card coming out in the reverse. But maybe he lost something when that comes out in the reverse. This King of Pentacles has lost. I guess he lost something that made him very happy, you know? And then with that Knight of Wands coming out, the Wheel of Fortune has came upon this, you know, this house, the situation regarding this house. And it has caused some things to actually turn full circle. Whenever you see that Wheel of Fortune, things have come full circle upon this King of Pentacles and whatever choices that he had. Something's come full circle on them choices. And upon this fast action that he did, you know, which was it was full of falseness. Because the falseness card comes out in that last row. So this officer, you know, he's a crooked officer. Because if he was in the upright, then he would have came out that way. It looks like he did work upon, you know, something regarding a murder for hire situation with somebody's family trying to take more than their fair share. There was no victory.